Rule 3, make friends with people who want the best for you.
Man, I could have said it better myself.
I like the way you clap, man. That's kind of cool. But I just, you know, this rule like resonates. Like, there's a lot of things that I see with people out there, and like, I mean, this rule doesn't even have to be with friends. You know what I mean? This can be about habits that you have in your life. You know what
Family,
yeah.
strangers.
Well, you can't always change your family.
No,
however,
you can change the amount of time you're spending with them, though.
Right, this is true. You can create healthy boundaries to those people who don't want the best for you.
Yep.
You know, but again, getting just kind of like how the rule 2 was, like, this all comes back if you want to look inward at things. You know, is there are a lot of people out there who just don't want to be helped.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like, that's the beauty of this book, is like all these rules, like when you start reading them, they just kind of blend together.
Yeah, they start to build on each other.
One resonates with the other, and like, you know, by the time you get to like rule 11, like it's like I don't know, it's just kind of,
man, you go down this rabbit hole, and these ideas start coming, and things start flowing. I mean, I've been looking around, I've been like, over the past, like, probably the past week, I've been looking at stuff, and I've been thinking to myself, like, get your house in order first, bud, before you criticize others. Hold up a second here. Let me take a step back.
Yeah, well
maybe you should take a step back. Like, but these are the things, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going in my head as they start to compound.
Right, of course. But even as you just look at the rules, like, make friends with people, like, you know, but there's a lot of people out there that don't want to be helped, right? You got that saying, like, that song by J. Cole, right? Like, she don't want to be saved, don't save her. Don't save her. You don't want to be saved. Like, but that's like true. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's just in a relationship sense, but even in a friendship sense.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of times when I've had conversations with my friend. I mean, he's right there in the orange shirt. Don't tell him. But like, I'm trying to tell him things. I'm trying to get him to come out and do something. But there's times when, you know, I just got to step back, because at this point, he's just not ready to hear that, or he doesn't want to do things, you know, and it's the same thing with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Same thing with everybody. You
know, it's just like that whole thing of like, when you're trying to get a message that somebody's not ready to hear.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
I think, yeah. So, you know, but I think at the same time, you know, like how you're talking about how much time you spend with people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the people that don't want to be saved, like, don't try to sit there and spend like 100% of your energy on something that they're not ready to receive.
Yeah.
You kind of got to wait. And like you said, either stop spending time with them or spend less time with them. You know what I mean? Your energy should be focused on maybe spending time with another person who's gonna want the best for you. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. And it goes back to that thing that I'm sure a lot of us have heard, and if you haven't, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most.
Right? Yeah, birds of a feather flock together, right?
Right. So you got to be careful with that. And then, you know, kind of the other adage that goes along with it, the teacher will appear when the student is ready.
Yeah.
So when your friend or your family or whomever is ready, then they'll be receptive to what you have to say and help and do and whatever that situation is about.
You know what I mean? And this whole time that you're limiting your time with them, like, you know, be respectful of that. Don't try to, you got to be tactful about how you accomplish that.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the same time, when they are ready to hear what, you know, to be like, hey, you know, Tyson, I've been thinking about what you said last month, and you know what? I'm finally ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, can we have that talk now?
Right.
Like,
can we go over that again? Yeah, exactly. It does happen all the time. And if anything, you know, sometimes you gotta, when you say something to somebody, it's gonna take a hit at their ego. It's gonna take a hit at their pride, and they're gonna need that moment. Like, you know, right now I'm saying fuck you. But give me a couple of weeks, and I'm going to be able to marinate on this, and things are going to settle down, and my ego's going to be able to calm down, and things are going to settle, and I'm going to be able to realize what you're trying to say, and maybe even you're trying to help me or whatever it be.
Right. And then this rule can also be reciprocated on yourself. Like, not only do you want to make friends that with people who want the best for you, but you got to want the best for your friends too.
Yeah, you got to be that person you want to attract, and you want to have other people be around you.
You gotta make this work both ways.
Yep.
If you want to grow as a person, I mean, think about it. If you want to grow as a person, and you are who you hang around with, right? The 5 people that you hang around with, those 5 friends that you have, if you want them around later on in your life after you've grown, guess what? They gotta grow too.
Yep.
This isn't just about you. You're gonna rise up, but you gotta have them grow too. And part of that is wanting the best for them.
Yep.
Giving them time to kind of find out what's going on. And if those people are toxic in your life and they, you got all that, like, sometimes you need to cut that.
Yeah, and that's the line I like in this book. Loyalty must be negotiated fairly and honestly. Friendship is a reciprocal agreement. You are not morally obligated to support someone who's making the world a worse place.
Right.
Damn. Yeah. What? I never thought about friendship in that way.
Right. I mean, growing up, right, you're like, oh, this is my boy, this is my friend, I'm going to support him.
Right.
And it's, but what he's doing is wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of times when people are confronted with that situation, their tendency is going to be towards loyalty. Like, this is my friend. I'm going to support them. That's my friend.
Yeah.
Yet they don't look inward, right? Again, going back to the first 2 rules, they're not looking at where they are in their social hierarchy of life, right? They're not trying to treat themselves as someone, right? They are giving into this thing of loyalty, and that other person may have little or no disregard for who you are, and you're backing them up.
Yep. You need to eat that fruit, bud, and wake up.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to take that, but I mean, definitely loyalty is something that's like negotiated. You have to be in a reciprocal agreement. If you're loyal to somebody who's not loyal to you, that can cause problems.
Yes. Especially if you're like in the earlier thing we're talking about, if you're giving and all this stuff, and then, you're trying to help them and all these things, and they're just taking advantage of you, or they don't care. I mean, man, that's a tough thing to be a part of. That's draining, and that could really weigh you down.
Yeah, I mean, now that you're saying that, it kind of brings me up with, like, this funny analogy, and you're probably gonna know what I'm talking about, right? But, like, when you go out to the club, like, let's not even say the club. Let's just say, like, in general, right? And you're like,
sure.
Hey, there's that hot chick, dude. Like, oh, there's that hot chick, and you see her, and then, like, all of a sudden you're like this. Because everybody in the room is looking for that hot chick's manager. You know what I'm talking about?
Where her friend at?
Where her friend at? Right? I mean, it's a bad joke. I'm sorry if that's, I don't mean to be cheesy about it or whatever. But I mean, in that situation, like, that couple exists. You have the hot chick, and then you have the average chick that's hanging out with her. Right? Sometimes she's a little heavy set. She's not as pretty. But I can almost guarantee you that average friend has got a better personality than the hot chick. Almost guaranteed.
Almost like 99% of the time, that's always true.
Right. But I mean, in that type of scenario, right, you're hoping that hot chick in the relationship, when those 2 go out, is not the person that's always, hooking up and then leaving. And it's like, oh, let's go out, whatever. And then you go out, and then, like, you're the average person, and then, like, your friend gets somebody, and then they leave the situation.
Yeah, and you're like,
right, you got to think about that situation. Like, is this friend really have my best interests in mind? Hopefully that hot chick is bringing in all the dudes, right? And then she's, bypassing, looking at one, like, hey, here's my friend. You know what I mean? Like, always like, here's my friend.
Yeah.
And, like,
oh, which one do you like?
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, just trying to promote it.
Yeah.
And in that way, that's like a reciprocal kind of thing. Because, I mean, the opposite is true, right? Like, the average chick, like, she's usually got the personality. So she's talking about us too, right?
Right.
And like, you know, she's probably hopefully looking for the best one in her opinion, right? And then be like, oh, here's my friend. You know what I'm saying?
I do, because every single time I've ever gone out with you, my entire life,
Oh no,
the hot chick will come up to me. Be like, hey, oh, hey, what's going on? Who's your friend?
Who's your friend?
That's Ransom. You want me to introduce you to him?
Right, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
Like, I mean, we've been out many times. I'm the type of dude that, like, look, my homies, I need to take care of my homie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's usually the
It ain't no fun.
No, Scott, let's not jump on that train. But, you know, in general, right, the rule of thumb is that you want relationships that's, again, a reciprocal agreement. Right?
Yes.
You want this something that you're in there to be loyal and all that kind of stuff. Like, not.
And you got to recognize it when your friend's using you for something.
Well, I mean, there's times when that's granted, but like hopefully again.
I'm just talking about that negative situation, like kind of how the one scenario of one type of person, you know what I mean? The one girl or one guy that's just like, listen, I only bring you out because you're going to help me, you know, navigate this. Other than that, I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah. And then, you know, Jordan Peterson has a lot of good examples in this rule too about relationships like that. It's just like you're in this friendship only because being around this person who's of lower hierarchy makes you feel better.
Yes.
You know, those kinds of examples and those kinds of friendships may not always be the healthiest for you. You know, I definitely agree. He's got a lot of good stories in there.
Yeah, he's got and everything. I mean, there's such good. And get in there and read. I mean, get in there. I mean, at least just for the stories. I mean, you'll just get such a broader understanding of life in general, the social hierarchies and all these different things, these social nuances. Oh man, you'll never watch Frozen the same again. Like, I mean,
yeah, he got a lot of Disney movies in there.
That's a lot of, yeah, he does all the Disney. I guess there must be something to that. I totally right over my head until I read this book. Yeah. I can't watch Snow White the same.
Right, but again, you know, he's talking about Adam and Eve. Like, he's got a lot of biblical references. He's got a lot of like Taoism references.
Yeah,
got a lot of references from different, you know, great stuff.